guess my confusion stems from the fact that the Americans are saying, not really a negotiation. We're laying out what we need to see Canada do, and Canada's not meeting us there.
That's a negotiation. That's a position. There's two parties in a negotiation. Mm-hmm. One, we're not sitting here taking notes, okay, and taking instruction from the United States. Understanding their position. Understand where it's in Canada's interest, in our joint interests to be stronger together. And this is a government that can do many things at one time. We set up to go back to
and
today.
Then he goes on to talk about housing and a whole bunch more. So there you go. That is Mark Carney. I guess fair to say throwing down, explaining, hey, this is a negotiation, this idea of an entry fee. Where did that come from? He doesn't know. David Heurtel is on the line, former Quebec Liberal cabinet minister, political analyst now. So, David, I thought Mark Carney handled himself quite well on that question.
I did too. And to continue the analogy we talked about yesterday, that's the response, to goons on the ice, and that's what we all hope we'll see the Habs do tomorrow night when the Lightning tries to push us around. You push back, and you don't accept the premise, and you say, you know what, you started this trade war. We took measures to defend ourselves and to respond. You correct facts. The facts are that Mark Carney can't tell Doug Ford or Christine Fréchette what to buy or what not to buy in the provincial liquor stores. And so I think, he's responding in kind to the now very well-known tactic of trying to bully Canada in the public sphere. And again, he did mention it again, Aaron. He keeps saying that there really are some negotiations going on somewhere. There are some serious people under the radar that are talking, and I still believe that right now all this blustering that we're seeing lately from the U.S. shows how the political weakness of the Trump administration in the U.S. I mean, more polling that came out this morning showing that even Republicans, even in the MAGA movement, the support is cratering for the president for a whole slew of reasons. And leading up to the midterms right now today, it's already looking like a bloodbath in November. And this is contributing to it. The trade war with Canada is hurting a lot of U.S. states. It's affecting Senate races. It's affecting congressional races for the Republicans. And so this to me, and the way Mark Carney is responding shows that he knows all this, obviously, and he's going to stay the course and use all the leverage he does have, including the countermeasures that Canada has put in place.
By the way, it's interesting to note on a day where a serious issue like this is discussed, and of course this is reaction to what Howard Lutnick said the other day when he was challenged by Jeanne Shaheen, the Democratic senator from New Hampshire. And then today, Mark Carney was on the defense. I'm only laughing because this is such a typical Canadian kind of a thing. We have a new Canadian ambassador to the U.S., and some forget to send out an invitation in French. What happened here, David?
Well, apparently that's exactly what he did. He sent an invitation for a reception, and he sent it in English only. And that's a mistake.
That's enough.
And Mark,
yeah.
It's no, but that's and look, we have two official languages, and that's the law. And a federal official, an ambassador, a minister, a civil servant, when you're doing any type of official communication, you have to do it in both languages.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, there's no debate. So obviously, in such a highly charged situation, anything the U.S. ambassador, the Canadian ambassador to the United States does will come under a lot of scrutiny.
Sure.
Obviously. And so, it's a blunder, and Mark Carney said so. He said, I'm disappointed. He should apologize. Yeah. It's a mistake, and you move on. And that's what I like about his style. Mark Carney, when there's a mistake, he calls it, and it doesn't become a 2-day or 3-day story. We won't be talking about this tomorrow because he's not trying to skate around it. He's saying, look, you made a mistake. It's unfortunate. Walk it back. Correct it. but it is a mistake. So again, for a Canadian ambassador, where we're 5 months away from an election in Quebec with a sovereignist party in the lead in the polls, it's a no-brainer. So that was just bad staff work. Somebody dropped the ball.
That's just
and
it.
That's it.
That's bad staff. It's not like Mark Carney sitting writing invitations in his
Of
office, right?
Not. Of course not.
Someone dropped the ball here, but you have to kind of ask yourself. I mean, this is a gimme. This is easy. This is this is not a blunder. This is someone with no clue about what's going on, or
there's
what?
a lot. Yes, and there's a lot of that going on right now. And we're seeing that a lot. We talk a lot, Aaron, when we talk every day about politics, about blunders on all sides. And the fact is that, you have a lot of very junior people, the senior staffers, and, we see some stuff that has been written by AI going out and never having being reviewed by a human being. And they're mistakes. But the fact is that you have a lot of very junior people. And with the pace of news and social media and everything, everybody goes triple fast, and a lot of things get missed because you don't have a lot of senior people there to overlook it.
Yeah. By the way, if I could just want to kind of take a bit of a left turn. I saw Pierre Poilievre taking questions today as well. And I understand, I know how the attack works. It's the same shtick over and over and over again. I get that. But at one point he said, when he's talking about Mark Carney still being unable to work a deal with the Trump administration, said, well, he already had a plan to get this done. And what is that plan, David? Do you know?
Well, it was so funny because he said, I would make a deal right away. And when he said that today, you know what, Aaron? It kind of sounded like, remember Donald Trump during the campaign saying, I'd solve the Ukraine war
in one day?
Yeah. It kind of had that same kind of feeling. And then he went off on some rant saying, you know what, I would make a deal on critical minerals. And he started listing them. And he said, they're going to need our germanium, and they're going to need our tungsten, and they're going to need our oil. So we're going to make a deal around that. And he started talking about the military needs of the U.S. And first of all, I don't think Donald Trump even knows what germanium is. And I haven't heard him talk about tungsten. And as for oil, Aaron, the United States of America is the world's largest producer of oil and a net exporter of oil. So I don't think they really are out talking about getting more Canadian oil. So I think he was trying to get on the board on this obviously very important issue, this issue that is dominating obviously federal politics right now. And he's trying to get on the board also on defense because Mark Carney has dominated that, obviously, with the huge shift with the federal government now spending tens of billions of dollars over the next 10, 15 years in defense spending, a huge radical shift in what Canada is doing compared to the Trudeau years, obviously. And I just think he's just desperate to stay on the board. But he just sounded ridiculous talking about, we're going to offer oil to the U.S. and saying, I'd solve it in a day.
In a day, yeah.
And it was like, oh my goodness, echoes of Trump and Ukraine.
All right, let me just wrap it up with a meeting yesterday. Soraya Martinez-Ferrata, the new Quebec Premier, Christine Fréchette, looking very nice, both wearing their Habs uniforms on the steps of City Hall. Is there a change in the offing here? I mean, look, I frame everything I ask about Christine Fréchette in the knowledge that there's an election just a few months away, and the way things are shaping up right now, she's not going to end up being our next Premier. But then again, stranger things have happened. Is this a good sign at least?
Well, I mean, you have to. You're a new premier or a new mayor. You go and meet. A new premier has to meet the mayor of the largest city in Quebec and the economic hub of the province. It was polite. I mean, today, $700 million for Maisonneuve-Rosemont. Just a caveat. That's for parking structures getting built and buying some land. The overall hospital costs $5 billion. The bulk of that money still has not been budgeted, and at best, the hospital itself will be renovated by, wait for it, 2036. So there's nothing in that announcement that's helping Christine Fréchette in the next few months. So it was nice. It was a photo op. It's nice that they're wearing the Canadiens jerseys, But at the end of the day, there are two ridings in Montreal that are currently CAQ, Anjou, Louis-Riel, and Pointe-aux-Trembles. Chantal Rouleau, our minister responsible for Montreal, and our new minister for housing, Karine Boivin-Roy. Right now, Quebec 125 gives Pointe-aux-Trembles solidly to the PQ and Anjou solidly for the Liberals. There is nothing right now looking very good for Christine Fréchette politically. She hasn't had much of a bump. You know, everybody's talking about, okay, yes, she got up to 17% in the last Léger, but that was, of course, it was that as much her as it was Charles Milliard's blunder. That's an important caveat to that. She's not getting much traction, and what's going on also within her caucus, losing Gilles Bélanger, other caucus members thinking about leaving. It's, you know, there just simply isn't enough time nor political upside for her to do anything of value in Montreal.
All right. David, thank you so much. We'll chat tomorrow.
I'm Luke Wilson. Join me each week for Film Never Lies. Since retiring from the NFL, I've had a lot on my mind, and now I've got my own show. So if you're tired of lazy takes, if you want honest conversations, join us each week. Film Never Lies, available on all TSN platforms and the iHeartRadio app.